up to the crackhead in the family to mess stuff up.
Yeah.
It's always the crackhead in the family.
Exactly.
Now we have one in the White House.
Exactly. Yeah. So this week, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced the opening of an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Yes.
I'll go with you,
T. How many times have we seen presidents get impeached? Yeah, they get impeached, but then it's like, all right, we're going to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But I'm happy this is happening.
Yeah.
Like, finally, we got one for Joe Biden. It's long overdue.
Yeah. So what I find interesting is that now the Bidens and the White House are trying to get the media to bid their case for them that McCarthy shouldn't be opening this inquiry. They want the media to do all this bidding for them. Number one, the media. Number two, they're saying that this shouldn't be done and this is a political witch hunt. I'm sorry, that kind of sounds like very familiar to me, right? Let me see. It sounds a little familiar to me. That language. So it's okay for them to go after Trump. Again, whether or not you think he's guilty or the bad guy, that's irrelevant. The point is that they are going after him as a political witch hunt for this man that they do not want as their opponent. Because I think that Trump can win. Yeah. And like I said, we have made no qualms on here. I voted for Trump twice, and I will vote for him again if he is the nominee. I will pull the lever or sign the name or whatever, check the box, not even holding my nose. I'm going to do it honorably. But this degenerative, cognitive declined man who wants to be in the White House again, and he's not really running. It's really Obama and Valerie Jarrett and other people who are doing, maneuvering him. Now he's saying that an inquiry, just an inquiry, should not even be open into the dealings with him and his druggy son sucking up all the damn cocaine forever on earth.
And what to say, and to what you said, to date, no president has ever been forced from the White House through impeachment. But former Republican President Richard Nixon resigned in 1974, but the House was preparing to vote for impeachment of him. So they impeach in the House, but not in the Senate.
Right, the Senate convicts.
Right, Senate convicts. So, that's that. But, the crazy thing about it is I personally believe we have enough evidence to impeach Biden.
I think you do too.
Yeah. So what is the impeachment based on again?
So the inquiry, they're looking into all of his dealings with Ukraine and Hunter, the payments, and they have more, thankfully, thanks to Congressman Comer, who's been getting all this evidence. They have phone calls. They have some records. I think they have some offshore bank accounts now that they can link to Biden, the president, getting money from Hunter, who had no skills except knowing how to snort really well over in Ukraine to get money. Basically, it was extortion and corruption that they were doing over in Ukraine. And this was all like a payback scheme to keep it all under wraps.
Right. And you have this idea where Hunter forged relationships with his father's aides in China and Ukraine. He would call in the business meetings. We have this in emails talking about the weather. And then Hunter, of course, was on the board of Burisma, where he was paid an extraordinary amount of money. In return, he promised connection with his father. He not only that, but we have I think it was the email or the voicemail,
emails, phone calls,
with his daughter Naomi in 2019, where he said, and I quote, "I hope you all can do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years. It's really hard, but don't worry. Unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary."
So leave it up to the crackhead in the family to mess stuff up. It's always the crackhead in the family.
Exactly.
Now we have one in the White House.
Exactly.
Right. So this is a cover-up beyond what we've seen, the likes of, I believe.
And not only that, remember, this started, or at least this Ukraine stuff, when he was vice president. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't even president at the time. This has been going on for some time. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden, some people say, is probably the most corrupt president in modern history in America.
Starting with his 1994 crime bill.
Oh, right.
Going back to his history.
Everything that Joe Biden has done has been for Biden, for himself, for him and his family, I guess, to a degree, but certainly to boost his own power, his own status, certainly to line his bank account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I want to ask you guys.
At that?
Yeah.
Of course, because he's
not making. You don't.
Right.
The government does not create money.
Right.
They tax and then spin.
And he's getting this money using illegal means, using the power of his office just to do the corruption in Ukraine and get the backdoor payments.
Right. Now, I want to ask you guys your thoughts on, because this week, Matt Gaetz, Congressman Matt Gaetz, he came out and, he's upset. Remember, we did cover the vote for speakership. Yes. And it was a volatile vote. We were up all night watching it, like many of you may have. And one of the conditions of him getting speakership was that he was going to do,
get consent, all the consensus and things like that.
And so, I mean, I'm not a Matt Gaetz fan, but what he said, I was kind of on board with. I mean, he said, you haven't had any subpoena. We got subpoena power. I mean, this impeachment inquiry does not require, it doesn't give you anything.
This is a formal inquiry.
Right. But I mean, before this was announced, they were able to subpoena. We haven't seen them subpoena anyone. They haven't subpoenaed Hunter Biden, the Congress. The Republicans in Congress. They have this budget coming up. They're supposed to do a balanced budget again. He wants to shut down the budget or shut down the government if that's not met. I mean, a lot of things he listed that haven't been done.
So when I saw that Matt Gaetz clip, and I thought that this was sort of a technicality, because he said McCarthy didn't get the consensus of whatever the committees are, right? All the House, the votes for the House to open the inquiry, but he doesn't have to have a votes to open an inquiry. He does have that right as Speaker to do that, and it does not preclude them from still issuing subpoenas. So I didn't understand. So I didn't understand Matt Gaetz's. I'm going to call it his performance.
Well, he was saying that they didn't need an impeachment inquiry to subpoena people.
So they still don't.
So he's upset that they have not done.
Well, do it. So I mean, that's what I'm saying.
That's what he said.
This doesn't preclude them from still doing that. This is, I guess I would say, maybe an additional tool that they can use.
Right. He feels
get
like
busy doing it.
Right, but he can't do it alone. He has to have votes to do it.
Well, that's not McCarthy's fault. It's how many Republicans are there? Again, Republicans are taking the low-level, backdoor, cowardly approach. Get busy, damn it. Do it.
Yeah. I think that's what he's saying. He wants done, but there's, for some reason, the procedural methods of
you're trying.
The procedural methods that are supposed to be involved, they can't get done without the Speaker. But I don't know. So we'll continue to follow that. But